Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm talking all about the top 10 everyday items that have changed over time. Before we get into this video, I just want to remind you Most Amazing Major Babes that we have an Instagram where you can see images of us goofing around, and also you can get the lowdown on our merch. Also, we do have a Patreon account, which means that you can support our next adventures like meetups, blooper videos, and fan-submitted Q&As. The links to both our Instagram and Patreon are down below in the description box. Okay, so changes. Let's see what everyday things have evolved like a Charmander over time. Coming in at number 10, we have books. R.I.P. the book, but also the opposite of R.I.P. to all of the trees that we're saving these days. Hooray! Since the invention of the e-reader, such as the Kindle or reading apps on tablets, people can carry hundreds of books around with them at any time without having to worry about taking a little trailer like Matilda in the Roald Dahl books and movie. I did think her trailer was kind of cute though. But still, imagine what she could have got through with a Kindle. Have a look at this big sexy old hunk of book from 1400 years ago. This is physically written in ink and everything. Now, for comparison, let's get a little look-see at this sleek, slender Kindle. All of the book you need on just one screen. Speaking of books, what about our mate the pen? Check him out at number 9. Can you imagine a time where people literally used to write with ink and sharp feathers? You're writing with a feather. What are you thinking? I mean, resourceful though. Hey. Compare this inky feather to your classic low-budget biro. Then compare your low-budget biro to your natural-made pens of the future. Your fingers. You can type or write on responsive screens like smartphones with these babies. Are these the pens of the future? I feel like I get creepy when I twinkle my fingers, but coming in at number 8, we have the bathing suit. Bathing suits first became popular in England in the 18th century. Everyone loved to be beside the seaside. Women especially were wearing very modest, long, billowing dresses with weights in them to get into the water. Then, by the Victorian times, women were climbing into bathing machines to put on shorter dresses like bathing suits. By 1920, women were wearing one-pieces, and by 1950s, hello and welcome to the bikini. Compare that with what some women are wearing these days, and wow, what a change since the 18th century. Coming in at number 7, we have cars. Get a load of this wheelie beast. This is the Benz patent motor car, aka the first automobile. This ye olde beaut was driven for the first time on New Year's Eve 1979, and its invention sparked further development of the motor car, and also pretty much sparked the eradication of horse-drawn carts. Nay! Compare images of the first ever car to a modern day electronic car, and we can see how far that we've come. Hello roof and doors, these are very welcome friends in adverse weather. Now if we could just get on those flying cars, the world would literally be ours. Coming in at number 6, we have the toilet. Woohoo! Yep, waste hygiene has come on leaps and bounds over the centuries. Early toilets were pretty much just holes in the ground. Then people graduated to outhouses and chamber pots, but the problem with these is that they needed to be emptied when they were full. Ugh. Then, lo and behold, the modern day loo. So shiny and flushable. No chance of getting an unwanted splinter in the butt cheek either. Porcelain, everyone's buttock friend. Not only that, some places have toilets like these. They squirt and they dry, which is pretty exciting. Also, check out this black laser loo. Some serious toilet tech from Presslit allows for that much discussed toilet seat to just shut itself. You just saved yourself like years of arguments. Coming in at number 5, we have the Aeroplane. The first ever aeroplane took flight in December 1903. The Wright Flyer was designed by Orville and Wilbur Wright and literally changed everything, starting a movement that would begin to connect the world. The first plane was made partially from wood, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Look at it! I think it's beautiful, but it's nowhere near as aerodynamic as planes we have today. This first plane couldn't hold more than 2 people, including the pilot, so let's compare it with what their invention sparked. A whopping Airbus A380, a double-decker passenger plane that can take 525 passengers. Wham bam! Thank you, Wright brothers. Coming in at number 4, we have female sanitary products. Being a girl can be pretty trying at times, but sisters, we are living in a good age. Women have been menstruating since the dawn of the age of the human, and putting up with it as long as we've been alive. Have a a look at a few of these ye olde ways to deal with Aunt Flo. Allegedly, ancient Japanese women made rudimentary tampons they would change around 10 times a day, but obviously we don't have pictures of those. Ugh. Marketable female sanitary products arrived in the mid to late 18th century and became popular in the early 20th century. One of the earliest tampons looked like this, 4 blobs of cotton wool on a string, whereas modern day tampons have evolved somewhat to look like this. I have to say though, the rudimentary tampon looks better than the Hoosier sanitary belt that strapped ladies up. Ooh, imagine strapping that right on up. These days pads look like this, which is much better. Coming into number 3, we have computers. What you are looking at here is the first ever fully functional computer, an ENIAC. ENIAC stands for Electronic Numerical Interrogator and Calculator, and this beastie here took up an entire room. Completed in 1946, ENIAC took up 550 square meters and weighed approximately 50 tons, so this is around 43,350 kilograms. Hefty. ENIAC cost approximately $500,000 and took several people to operate just one. So we've gone from that to this. We have super thin MacBook Pros these days. This is just 13 inches wide and 14.9 millimeters thick. The 2018 MacBook is light as a feather compared to the 43,000 and change kilo ENIAC. The MacBook weighs just 1.37 kilos. It's much cheaper too at $1,729. Keeping in the world of tech, check out the evolution of the telephone at number 2. Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. These were the first words ever spoken on the telephone by inventor Alexander Graham Bell. The first telephone was patented in 1876 and looked like this and this. In the past 140 years or so, the telephone has come on leaps and bounds. We've gone from landlines to mobile phones, which are now far more popular and convenient, with the iPhone topping the popularity list. Let's have a little comparison look side by side between ye olde telephone and today's iPhone. I mean, Alexander Graham Bell would not recognize what we have today, and to be fair, kids today probably wouldn't recognize his invention as a phone either. I actually heard a kind of disturbing story from a teacher friend of mine that told me instead of doing this to indicate the phone, kids these days are now doing this. I feel old, like this is the phone to me. You used to call me on my really weirdly flat hand. Finally at number 1, something that has made a huge difference to the lives of billions as they've developed over time, we have glasses. Corrective lenses were invented in around the 13th century, but this picture here is of glasses from the 1700s. Compare that with the modern day contact lenses, see how far we've come. No pun intended. Okay, maybe a little pun intended. Samsung have even patented smart contact lenses, which will have cameras built into them. My goodness, this is crazy. This is so Black Mirror. So guys, that was the top 10 everyday items that have changed over time. Did you like this list? What transformation did you find the most shocking? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, what do you think everyday items we know of today will look like in 50 years time? I'm pretty excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Rebecca Felgate. If you like this video, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed to Most Amazing Top 10. Also, don't forget to check out our links in the description box to our Patreon and our Instagram. Thanks guys for watching until the end of this video. If you want to keep on watching our most amazing videos, then why not check out our top 10 items only billionaires can afford and our top 10 futuristic technology coming soon. I'll see you next time.